I'm Allan Dale from Gale Force Winds, and what a pleasure it is to be here in conversation at Central Minex 2024, brought to us today by our good friends from Calibre, true thought leaders in the room here today, bringing everybody into the conversation because they know that everybody's voices matter. Allan, why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself, tell us what you do.
Yeah, so my name is Allan Cramm. I'm a co-founder of Novamera and VP of Innovation. And Novamera is a technology company that developed a new mining method here in the province.
Talk to me about that new technique that you've discovered.
Yeah. So my background has been in mining and Newfoundland, and at least the place I worked at, we had a lot of narrow veins of mineralization. And some of them are not economic with conventional techniques. So we saw a real opportunity to develop a new technology that could actually extract value from these that would otherwise be uneconomic types of deposits. And initially it was started out simply to satisfy a need that we had with Anaconda mining on the Bay Verte Peninsula. But as we started to develop the technology, we realized that the issue we were facing was common around the world. So we've commercialized the product, and we're actually preparing to put this into operations at many points around the world right now.
Could you tell me the difference between sort of the traditional way and the way that you do it? Could you break that down?
So most common methods of mining we've all experienced are generally an open pit or an underground. And underground can have different forms, but generally they're very similar. Our technique actually is vertical mining. We're actually drilling essentially round holes from surface down, and the mineralization we're extracting through a reverse circulation process. And we can mine veins that are as deep as 300 meters. The only thing we need to do is we need a good geometry of the vein. So for that, we've actually developed what's called a guidance tool. So we actually lower a guidance tool down a conventional diamond drill coring hole and scan the vein. So we can actually get a very good XYZ position of the vein. And we've gone to develop software to optimize the trajectory of the drilling tool to maximize the ore recovery.
Wow,
yeah.
It sounds amazing. And so how new is this technology?
Well, the actual application of mining by this method hasn't existed in the world, really. The drill we're using, and it's interesting enough, is a drill that's used in marine construction quite a bit for nearshore infrastructure. And so we've basically taken existing equipment with some minor modifications and adapted to a whole new industry and a whole new industry opportunity. And we see globally, trillions of dollars of value in deposits that are otherwise uneconomic.
Wow. And are you getting interest from around the world at the tech?
Yes, we're pretty excited. We're what we've achieved. We were a while trying to establish, what our ideal customer was, and I think we've hit on that now. And it's actually the junior miners. As we heard here at this event, it's very difficult to attract investment in the junior mine industry. So we have a technology now that could essentially make junior miners self-funding. They could actually have a small deposit and they could generate cash flow, which is a brand new opportunity. They don't have to rely on the markets, and we're getting a lot of interest in that area.
Do you sell the product or do you sell the service?
We sell both. We have components that we sell, but we sell a service. And eventually we're going to have to take a bigger role, obviously, in the deployment because it doesn't exist. So right. The only people with experience are now us.
Right.
We've put this in the field many times, but eventually we'll be a service provider, and we'll sell some components to match with existing equipment.
And when you say us, how big is the team?
Yeah, so the company right now is 18 people. We have a lot of data scientists and engineers to design our components, but it is a data-driven technology. So we develop software and algorithms to analyze millions of bytes of data for every scan we do. We're essentially seeing through rock. Wow. And we're detecting mineralization and veining and structure, and it's all important to understand to target only the ore, and we leave the waste behind.
Allan, there must be a big play in there for artificial intelligence, yeah?
Absolutely.
Talk to me a little bit about that.
Big part of our industry, and data. We generate so much data, and it's an almost impossible manual process to analyze this much data. So we have to rely on artificial intelligence to help get the picture out of the data, and so we're a big we have a big group dedicated to that, and we were fortunate just to get funded by Digital Supercluster to help doing that. So we're pretty excited.
And all this is located right here in Newfoundland?
Yeah, all the deployment except one project has been in Newfoundland right now, and fortunately we've got to start with a great collaboration with the Moore University and the College of North Atlantic,
Wow.
supported by the COA and the provincial government throughout the last number of years.
I mean, what you're describing there is a near perfect collision of government, industry, and academia coming together to innovate and create a product right here in Newfoundland that has a global, ability, right?
Absolutely. I think the work with Memorial University was really interesting. It's a mining technology developed at Memorial University, which doesn't have a mining school. So we're looking at it through a whole different lens. And interesting enough, the oil and gas drilling technology we're able to share a lot of that research to develop our drilling technology.
As I watch young students walk by here, sort of that workforce of the future, many perhaps a misunderstanding of mining, of what it's all about. But what you just articulated is a whole different opportunity for somebody who might be looking at the mining industry.
Absolutely, it's not the dirty industry it once was, and it's a real opportunity for kids to get in an industry that doesn't at all look like it did 40 years ago. And it's we're using modern technology, and we like to some of the environmental benefits, very small footprint. It's the operator is out of harm's way. Basically, the operator works from surface, and where we have very little water discharge, and it hits all the points of what the industry is trying to get to with the new technology.
Very little environmental impact, the way you describe it.
Absolutely, we've compared to existing mining methods, and our environmental impact is considerably smaller and almost non-existent for certain areas, like particularly on the noise or the dust, as an example.
Allan, I'm so glad that you introduced us to this sort of new technology and allowing us to look at mining through a different lens, and really appreciate it. On behalf of our good friends at Calibre, here's a ball cap for you. Thanks for being on the conversation.
Great. Yeah, it's good. So.